the bushes seem to be
Aren't
closed.
aren't I cute? You forget all that stuff I did. Now I make bad paintings. Those million people, who even gives a fuck, right, guys?
I care more about our $1 trillion than the million people we
$2
killed.
trillion
If I'm being honest.
war. Don't shortchange me.
It wasn't 2. I think it was 1 trillion. But we did kill 1 million Iraqis or so, and I don't feel so bad about that because they suck. But I would like that trillion back. That trillion.
Most of those people had nothing to do with like why you don't like.
Oh, did you take a census?
Like,
I'm saying that if you were born there, you'd be like them. Like there are leaders who are responsible for why it is the way it is, but most people are just,
if that were true, then it would. Then taking Saddam out would have just fixed everything, right? Like I think that what's good for the goose is good for the gander over there, as far as I'm concerned. I would just like our $1 trillion back. That's all.
That's a hilarious way to rationalize anything. I love that. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. It's like, did we need to kill 1 million people? Pish posh.
They couldn't act right. Like Mama used to say, if you can't act right, we're just gonna go home. And that's what we did.
And they were over there living in their shitty country, not bombing us, and then we showed them what for. It's like, hey guys, it seems like these guys aren't even ready for us to start.
They were ready. Oh, I know we're about to wrap, but I've been watching World War II stuff, but also some Gulf War stuff, and it's about the Russian perspective on those conflicts, like what they thought when they found out about XY technology. The best is Afghanistan, when Charlie Wilson's war happened, and we sent Stinger missiles, which were cutting edge. The Stinger missile shoots a 35-pound warhead that's basically a computer. Like that thing is a thinking missile. In 85, 86, that's when we sent them over there. They would instantly take out all of their helicopters, and they had an 83% success rate. Like it almost always took down the aircraft you shot it at. It used this technology where it's a thermal sensor on the head of this thing, so it needs to differentiate between heat signatures. It needs to know the difference between a flare and the edge of the blade of a craft, because they already had this technology that could follow something and hit the rear exhaust, because that's so hot. But they needed something that was sensitive enough to hit it head on, to keep following it if it broke off and like didn't show you its ass. And so they use this tech where they have a sensor in there, and when you launch the Stinger, it releases pressurized argon gas onto the sensor and freezes it to like negative 300 degrees Celsius or something. And so during its flight time, it's this hypersensitive thermal warhead. When the Soviets were terrified, they were losing 3 aircraft a day every single day. They had been flying over with their Hind helicopters, providing close air support and pulling people out when they were injured. All that went away. The doctrine was now to fly to 15,000 fucking feet in a helicopter. You can't see anything from up there, so they're just useless now. When the KGB when Spetsnaz was finally sent in to get one, there was like 100,000 ruble prize to get a Stinger. We got to see what they're fucking shooting at us. We got to understand this new missile technology. And when they got it, they were like, we can't do this. We can't recreate this. This can't be copied. This is a tech that is beyond us. This is a 35-pound flying computer that finds jets at 20,000 feet and takes them out of the air. Like, we can't do this. It's great. Love those stories.
Big win for America.
Gulf War was the same way, because Iraq had the 4th largest army in the world, and they were protected by this layered air defense. So that was some of the best that Russia made. It was what was protecting the Warsaw Pact at the time. Like if NATO was going to invade Russia, they'd be going through the exact same air defenses. And 100 hours later, and Iraq has fallen. They couldn't understand that. They didn't know about they knew about the F-117s, but they didn't know about all the electronic jamming technology we had that would just turn all their stuff to snow. They were like, are they hacking us in real time? Like they didn't know what was going on. So all the insecurity from the Russians, they have all this paperwork from like internal documents. And some of them are asking questions like, is it a space laser? Is it like they're wondering if it's like they're asking if it could be these fantastical technologies. They thought maybe because Reagan had talked about Star Wars, putting this missile defense in space. They're like, maybe Star Wars wasn't a defensive weapon, it's an offensive weapon. And the Americans are shooting Iraqi tanks from space with lasers. They're getting hit in the top. We told the Iraqis to bury their tanks, only the guns sticking out. but they're still spotting them and shooting them from the top down.
We should have leaked that at the time so that they would have been even more scared. Where it's like,
we probably
like
did.
some memo that's like the Russians are on to our space laser.
I saw
that's
this
how the
thing
CIA works. Yeah,
that taking out the Iraqi tanks, and at first we were using our own tanks. We were winning tank wars. Our tanks were far superior to them, but it wasn't super easy. And then once they saw that the jets could see the infrared signature, not the infrared, the thermo signature on the tanks, they were all like super hot from the daytime, and they retained their heat a little longer, and they called it tank plinking. It was just the easiest thing in the world to fly around and be like and take out as many tanks as they had missiles.
And we have a plane, and on the it looks like a big cargo plane or something. On the bottom there's this enormous canoe, and it's an incredibly powerful radar system. It's side-looking radar, so it's 200 miles away, but it's checking the whole area with radar. And then this is in the Gulf War, and then in real time, it's just a node and a network. So the Soviet military is this top-down thing. The boss gives an order, and it delineates down and down and down. And to do navigation and coordination, you have to use timetables, maps, compasses, stuff like that. But in the Gulf War, we'd already created this network where each soldier, each tank, each helicopter, each fighter jet, each like intelligence plane was a node in a network, all talking to each other in real time, telling each other. So the F-15 pilot, he didn't have to look for anything. He didn't have to hunt and gather. He got a ping on his map that said, "Tank right here, blow it up." And he's like, "Done." So I love those stories.
Those weapons that aren't even weapons, they're just information gatherers, spy planes, and that stuff, it gets overlooked, at least by me it does. And it's like, actually refueling is a huge part of military. Being able to do air-to-air refueling is gigantic, and a lot of countries can't. Maybe all. Kyle, we might know. Any other countries, can they refuel in the air?
It wouldn't surprise me if they can. I don't know.
I think it's really uncommon.
I know that we've almost certainly got the biggest like tanker fleet, and like our C-130s outperform what the Russians have. They were saying that maybe Russia was flying in not munitions, but maybe missile defense systems for Venezuela, and but only one of their planes had come, and they were comparing their cargo plane, their like biggest military bring some shit to the war front plane to ours, and it's just like not even close. And they only sent like one or two. That Venezuela, I don't know if that Venezuela thing is going to actually cook off or not, but Trump is flexing, and it seems like he's flexing super hard, like he's going to invade, to put pressure on the cartels / whoever's around Maduro to be like, hey, just bump this guy off. Just bump this guy off, and we'll back off, and everything will be cool again. But
the whole taco thing, Trump always chickens out. Like, it's very fitting. But there are some cases where I kind of want him to chicken out. And this is one of them.
Yeah, when I looked into the Maduro thing, it seems that he's sort of internationally recognized as a false leader, or like he stole that presidency. So I didn't know that prior to me researching it. So that's interesting. It's just that whenever Trump says something, I don't believe it. When he's like, this guy's this and that, I'm like, I doubt it. You might be, but I doubt it. But I looked into it, and he does seem like a bad guy.
He called that woman fat. Debunked.
I saw him blow up a boat that had 3 fucking outboard engines on it. Like, that thing was going so fast, it was just skimming the top of the water. And it was like a flat, open boat with all of these cubes in it. You're looking through thermal up in the air. But it was like, clearly, this is not a fisherman or a sightseer. I wish you could zoom all the way in and see the guy's face, because he's got to be like, oh, we beat him this time. Woo, wham, I'm going so fast. Nothing could possibly. What's that? Like, when they blew
this
him
is
up,
why you're the Fent King.
I don't know all. Of course, we don't get to see all the footage, but the footage they released, they all look like drug runners to me.
Yeah,
like you said, and I think I saw one that was a submarine. I don't know any fishermen that use submarines. I don't think
dedicated ones.
That's where the fish are.
Gotta see them in their eye, the fear in their eyes as I reel them in.
So I get it. There might be ones they don't release that are, a little more subtle, slow-moving fisherman's boat, etc. They probably get some wrong. People do.
I don't know what they're doing, because they don't give us the full information, but you would assume that they try to pull these people over, and then they flee, and then they detonate them. You would hope that they're not just like, "There's one."
I
Here's
don't think they
another.
have. I don't think they have ships in the area. They just do it. From
Oh,
the
they have so
sky.
many ships in the area. They sent a
No.
carrier fleet.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. The ones I saw, I don't think they had ships saying pull over.
Oh,
Stop.
they got
moving.
helicopters though. You know,
Yeah,
they got.
yeah.
I've seen them do
I've
that.
seen.
And they do. I can't remember the name of the boat. Is it the George Washington? What the carrier we sent is our
Probably.
biggest, newest, baddest motherfucker carrier on the planet. Like we sent the good one. Like
We sent our best one.
we sent our best one. Yeah.
Well, I'm in desperate need of a snack that I
A
can then,
piss?
that I can then burn off with my. Yes, I need to pee,
With your red light.
and then I'm going to eat pizza while the light's on me.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna leave that
Genius.
motherfucker in the box, and I'm gonna go not drink piss.
All right.